Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We all know that actions have consequences, and the consequences sometimes are positive, sometimes are negative. But how do we call ourselves if we knowingly act upon something and know that the consequence would be negative? So I know that if I do this, it's going to be negative. Well, I think we could call ourselves either kind of a masochistic person who likes pain. Otherwise, you wouldn't do that if it hurts, negative consequence. Or you're not that smart. I don't know, it's something like this. In this case, we have the European Union who imposed sanctions on Russia knowingly. I don't think they're so stupid not to know that by doing that they will impose sanctions on themselves as well. And not only the sanctions, but past two years and a half of all kind of very fantastic economic policies implemented not only in Europe but in United States of America, created an economic environment where we have inflation, I would say in double digits with no problems. Just look at the groceries and energy prices. So in this case we have an article from Sputnik. Obviously this is a Russian media outlet. It's from today. Today is the 6th of October 2022. This is the title. Annual inflation in Netherlands increases to record 14.5% in September. I suspect it's more than 14.5%. And I read a few articles maybe a week ago where they said, I don't know, about 10 or 15, between 10 and 15 countries, and it was like 13, I think, countries in the European Union, they have inflation in double digits. Now, double digits. So that's, double digit could be, I don't know, 55. I'm not considering Turkey, okay? Turkey is not in the European Union, but it seems like these guys are trying to catch up with Turkey. Now, there's not a percentage to celebrate, that's for sure. Some celebrate. Some make profits and will make profits after all this goes in a certain way. And some people who are already ready for this kind of change, they're making a kill. Consumer prices in the Netherlands rose to a record 14.5 year-on-year in September from 12% the month earlier. So in August they were 12, now they go 14.5. That means what? In August we're what? No, in September we're 12. In August we're 12. In September we're 14.5. Now in October it's going to be what? 17. Statistics Netherlands said on Thursday. The increase in inflation was mainly due to rising energy prices, the agency said, adding that the electricity prices have tripled over the past year. Tripled. So instead of paying, let's say, $200 or 200 euros per month, now you pay 600. Yeah, but at least we show that evil guy Putin, we hurt them. They're war machine. Yeah, okay. All right, it's good. If people want to do that, they vote for these guys who will implement such, come up with some such restrictions, sanctions, and decisions. The overall level of prices for goods and services in the Netherlands increased by 17.1%. So let's say you used to pay €1 for a liter of milk. Now you pay 1 liter and 20, whatever it's over there right now, in euros, I don't know, shillings, whatever it is, cents, I don't know what they turned into that. Dutch media have pointed out, however, that CBS calculates data on the basis of new energy contracts, which means that real inflation, actual inflation, may be lower as now, as not all households have switched to new contracts since September. Well, I think that's a wizard way of calculating, because once you have energy going up, everything goes up. Because take the example of crops or food in general. you need fertilizer. That comes with some, may I say, some fossil fuels. Come from where? If that shoots up, you pay more for fertilizer. Then you have to use tractors, right? How do they run? With solar energy or with manpower? Then you got, you know, trucks to distribute this. What do you use? Again, all these things are increasing the price of transportation, production, collecting, and not only if I took only gas, I didn't take electricity, which again can go higher with these guys having shortages. Some of them are, I don't know, by coal, some of them are by, I don't know, nuclear reactors. I don't know Netherlands how they get it. And the only thing to do, the easiest way to do your real inflation rate is just walk in the store. Walk in a store and take a picture of the prices, and then come back in, I don't know, in a month or 3 months and compare. I did it's unbelievable. It's so far away, back in time. It was in September when the elections were, and the U.S. elections, and when Donald Trump lost the elections, I said, well, the gas will jump like crazy. Let me take a picture of the gas, the lowest that it was in my area. And it was, I can't even believe right now because it sounds crazy, it was $1.70, $1.70 a gallon. Then the lowest, it was on Fridays or whenever it was the lowest, I can't remember, Friday I think it was. And I took a picture of that. And then how much is now? It's $4.50 right now. In what, in 2 years? We're almost in November again. It's 2 years and jumped what? 2 times? It's 3 times is what? It's 4.55 is right now at the pump. And the lowest, I think it's, I don't know yet because it's not Friday, it just jumped 2 days ago from 3.90 to 4.50. Just overnight in an afternoon. In the morning was 3.80, in the afternoon was 4.55. So when this guy say, well, not all the households, not only about the households here. And it says the EU countries have been facing raising energy prices since last year, but the situation was exacerbated by Brussels after the bloc imposed sanctions against Russia, citing the special military operation in Ukraine. As a result, the EU has suffered from an energy crisis while the bloc's inflation rose to double digits. And remember, now is that time of the year when it's pretty cold in certain areas, if you know what I mean, and they will use more energy, more demand, and the supply is going to be either less or more expensive. So what do you think is going to happen? The standard of living will decrease. So they switch now to everything is Putin's fault, and all these sanctions, as I started this video with. But as I mentioned at the beginning, I think there were many other reasons that caused the economies to just collapse as they did in the past 2 years. And so and there's no sign they're coming back, and they can't. If you don't have cheap energy, you can't you can't expand unless you have a big production. How are you going to have a big production to sell your stuff? Who's going to buy it? If people don't have money because they have to pay for energy and other stuff, they will not buy other products. They would be more expensive. So no, and I'm expecting that to be higher, and I think it's higher than 16.5. But this is just for, like here they say, well, inflation is 8% or something. Yeah, I go and take a picture of a gallon of milk, the price, bang, and I said, verify in 3 months. I remember about 2 years ago, it was at Kroger's, who's familiar with United States companies, Kroger's, it was 89 cents a gallon, 89 cents. Right now it's 3.50. So you tell me that it's 8%. I don't think it's 8% in 2 years. It should be must. I mean, from 85 cents, 89 cents, or how, some below 90 cents, let's put it this way, it was. I give them 90 cents, and now it's 3.45, 3.50. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. That's money out of my pocket. And how much do you think our incomes were increased? Well, 1%, 2%. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.